So for those who don't know, this is a pretty crazy kind of like crack ship sort of game, a labor of love, largely by a lot of voice actors, which explains why there's so much text and voice acting, and the character design in general is phenomenal. Like, everybody represents these household objects really well, really imaginatively. And we'll start with Skylar Specs. So she is the goggles, the date evaders that let you transform everyday objects into anthropomorphic people that you can date or just befriend. So she's sort of like the mascot of the game. Where do we think she lands?
Friends.
Yeah, I don't feel too... I mean, I think she's very cute, and she's obviously meant to be appealing as kind of like a mascot character. She also is the character who keeps kind of all of the lore of the game and kind of gives you like pseudoscience about why this technology even works. The frame narrative is pretty weak, honestly. We didn't really like the frame narrative, but the individual characters can be very charming. Phoenicia is your phone. She's an influencer. Her whole arc is about learning to take time for herself and practice what she preaches about avoiding burnout and whatnot.
I'd say friends or flings.
She's also friend. I think she's a really good friend. Because in the game you can get one of 3 endings with each character. The dating ending, the love ending, the friend ending, or the hate ending. We got date with both of these people because it is date everything. So we
tried to go for the love.
Unless they were like noxious or we just did not vibe with them at all. Wallace is funny. He's kind of like an I Am Groot character. He just says wall. Yep. I'll put him there. He's funny. So Florence and Celia are a bonded pair there. Florence being the floor and Celia the ceiling. Celia is like the mayor of this of your house, and Florence is her assistant. They secretly have feelings for each other, and in the course of getting to know them, you can hook them up.
Spoilers?
I don't think we're going to have some light spoilers here because I think that's the best way to discuss these characters.
I like Florence.
We ended up sort of accidentally forming a threesome with them. My finger sort of slipped, but we
realize what
we were also kind of cute together though.
Yeah.
So I don't really mind that. I like them. I like Florence more than Celia. That's true. Mm-hmm. I would put Florence all the way up here.
Yeah.
I would put Celia like here. Probably here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Think that's fair.
Stella! Unfortunately, Stella was the first person we crashed and burned with because in order to progress their storyline...
The Florence and Celia
Yeah, so you end up roping in Stella because she is selling... She's part of a multi-level marketing scheme.
Not great.
So the idea is she's sort of like a gullible elderly person who's ultimately pretty sweethearted, but we never got to see that because we didn't have enough empathy points because you kind of accumulate these personality stats. So we weren't able to actually see her. She just like immediately hated us and we could never recover. So we don't have high opinions of Stella and she doesn't have high opinions of us. I would go so far as to put her into yikes because she is peddling like some MLM
but she wasn't
stuff.
like...
She's also a victim. Like she's clearly being victimized by the company.
Yeah.
So we could put her in meh.
I think meh.
Alright, there are some truly yikes people that we'll get to. Yeah, I think she goes there. Dorian. There are 16 doors in the house.
16 doors.
And each of them have different dialogue, and some of them have returning dialogue. He starts as your friend, just automatically. And you can only romance him if you talk to each door. The doors can be funny. There's a tiny door, which is just Dorian, but his body is very small. His head is the same size. There's a back door where he's just facing away from you.
Yeah.
And
so
then
you
there's
just see his back.
the trap door where he's shirtless and hot. And very funny. He's also voiced by Ben Starr. And I like Ben Starr.
He's very good.
So I like Dorian, but I think we can only really put him in Friends.
Oh, I was gonna say Fling.
Oh, even though he starts as Friends, and actually, we did not romance him. We did not have the patience for it.
We didn't, but like, we would have.
Alright.
I think he's Fling material, especially Trapdoor.
I'll let my wife... Trapdoor Dorian is very cute, sure. Gwendolyn is like the Karen of the group. She has lots of mom energy. She really enjoys watching children. And she's the Windows. You don't actually get a great sense of how these characters are attired here, but her top is like daylight windows and her bottom is sort of like nighttime windows. Yeah. It's a good look. And of course her hair is kind of reminiscent of the rising sun or setting sun. But ultimately I think we can only really put her in meh.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's high med, though. Kurt and Rod. Get it? What a pun. They are a shady duo. They are your curtains and your shades and your blinds.
And the curtain rods the curtains hang off of.
Yes, they're all of that.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that they teach you to throw shade in a way that isn't super unkind. Interestingly, this one has them paired and separate.
Interesting.
I don't really think we can unpair them for these purposes, though.
Yeah.
Because they really do come together. They kind of are a couple, but they're also just like friends. Mm-hmm. And when you get to their epilogue, they're clearly doing like a Key and Peele thing, is what they're kind of riffing off of. But ultimately, they're just two like sassy boys. We didn't quite jive with them, but they're nice people. I would go so far as to put them in friends.
Okay. I was thinking maybe like a fling or a hot mess.
Oh, you think they're hot messes?
They're not too messy, but just
I like them as friends.
A little shady.
They are shady. The whole point is that they throw shade.
Yeah.
But they are ultimately really nice. And the other thing that they do is they introduce you to lots of other characters, including Wendelin. So I'm happy putting them as low friends.
Okay.
Because the thing is, like, these are sort of different categories. They're not necessarily tiered. It's like, who do you think is a better friend? Who do you think is a better fling? I don't know. This is where it gets a little murky. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going to leave Kurt and Rod individual. Okay, Shelley is probably a hot mess.
Yeah, she's definitely a hot
mess. I think Shelley is a hot mess.
I was not impressed.
Yeah, her whole thing is that she feels like she needs to be super strong so that she can hold everything that she's required to hold as her shelves. But it comes out that the reason why she's so anxious about this is because she wasn't properly mounted by a former homeowner.
Yeah.
And this is a like non-issue. You can very easily fix this problem, so that immediately like broke my suspension of disbelief. And she's super needy.
Super needy.
And very loud. She's very friendly, though, which is why I ultimately have kind of fond feelings for her, but I will agree that she can go into hot mess. Abel is perfect.
Love him. Spouse material.
Yeah, he's absolutely spouse material. He's great. He is a shy cowboy type. Just solid, dependable, strong, and silent. He's your Tables.
People like that, yeah.
You've dated people like that? Not me.
Not you.
I am possibly strong, but definitely not silent. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He is a little frustrating to date because you have to talk to all the tables, similar to Dorian.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Not as many as there are.
And he's kind of withholding. Not withholding. He just doesn't open up.
Yeah, he
for a
doesn't
long
like to
time.
talk about himself.
All right, Jeremy. I really like Jeremy.
I put her under hot mess.
Oh, I like Jeremy a lot. Jeremy is like an actor. She puts on these little sketches for Celia and Florence.
Mm-hmm. And others, but Celia and Florence are the ones who show up.
Yeah, and you can kind of join her in these scenes, so they sort of become like these improv scenes. And it's another case where the game just demonstrates how much writing there is.
Yeah, and art.
Because there's just so many different ways that the scenes can go, and that there's different art for all of the different plays and all of the different characters, and she has different outfits. So I think all of that is very impressive. Mm-hmm. I'll compromise and put her in flings.
Okay.
I would put her in BFF and Sweethearts if this was just my Okay. You probably want her lower than Dorian.
Yeah.
I would put her higher. I really like Jeremy. I also think she's very cute.
She reminds me of the actor who did Draco Malfoy in a Harry Potter musical.
Oh, not the one in the movies.
No, not the one in the movies.
That's funny. Yeah. Well, getting to odious characters, there's Lux, who is absolutely hot. No, he's a yikes, actually.
He's a yikes.
They are a yikes, absolutely. Lux is all of your lighting fixtures. The writer specifically said they were modeled on all of the, like, obnoxious, like, influencer personalities that his wife has to deal with in her line of work.
Nailed it.
Lux is awful. Just self-centered, just the worst. Hector is either a stalker or kind of like a shy secret admirer, depending on how you look at him.
Yeah.
He's your HVAC system, and he mostly hangs out like that in the grates, in the vents. Eventually, you can see him, and he looks a little bit like a nerdy Latino, like Lin-Manuel Miranda or something. He's very soft spoken. He's very poetic. He talks about how much he loves you and how he like blows just the right temperature of air on you.
Yeah, so like
lives for
either
your
sweet
comfort.
or super creepy.
Yeah, exactly. I lean towards sweet because he's not pushy at all.
Yeah.
But I mean,
we have a watcher.
oh, hello, watcher. It's a baby. Yes. This is our baby. He started smiling the other day.
Very exciting.
He's only a month old. So this is a big milestone. Well, right now he's just sort of making a lot of uncomfortable faces. Oh, you have the pinions too.
I mean, he did watch all of it.
He did watch the whole thing. This very not for kids game. I would put Hector in Friends because I like Hector.
Okay.
But we can put him wherever you want. He could be in a hot
I'm
mess.
willing to do, like I feel like he's either a hot mess or Friends, but I'm okay with low
Do we
Friends.
want to upgrade Dorian to Friends? Because his whole thing is that he is a friend. Or is he in Flings because you want to have a fling with Dorian?
I think I'd be willing to do a fling with Dorian.
I mean, this is where originally we hadn't kind of separated these. It was sort of like
Friends and flings. F and F.
Friends and Flings. Yeah, we'll keep him there for now. Okay, Prissy. No, I'm just going to move Kurt and Rod since they're here.
Yeah,
Let's put
okay.
them down here. Prissy is a plastic faux plant.
Mm-hmm.
And her whole thing is she wants you to make her real, basically through the power of positive thinking. And all of these sort of like quasi-scientific rituals that she wants you to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you stand by her, it works, actually. And your whole house sprouts forth with vegetation.
Which is really nice.
So I actually like Prissy.
Would you do sweethearts? Or
You
not
like her that much?
I love her looks. I
Yeah,
think her
it's a good look.
design is really successful.
She's also got a skirt that looks like a vase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put her up here. Yeah, I can put her up there. Hey,
He
baby.
says no.
No! Alright, she's downgraded a friend. Timothy Timepiece is kind of terrible.
Yikes.
He's very much like Mr. Mistopheles from the musical Cats.
I thought I would like him, and then he kept talking.
Yeah. His whole thing is he's a stickler for punctuality because he's a clock, and that's all he cares about. He's also obviously a cat, so the idea is he's sort of like distant the way that a cat might be, but when you get to know him, he gets really affectionate, but we never really liked him. He's not an actively toxic person, but he's not great. You would put him in Yikes?
I'd put him in Yikes.
And we're putting Stella in Meh, not Yikes. Or
Yeah.
Hot Mess.
Yeah.
Alright. That feels really harsh for poor Timothy, but...
Well, we hated it.
Yeah, we did. Okay. Now we have Art with 2 T's, who is the manifestation of art. Because a lot of these objects are concepts. The idea, it's sort of like, almost like a Shinto idea of kami. They're kind of like the representation of the Platonic ideal of whatever they are. And in this case, it's like artworks. So you talk to him, and he has you evaluate different kinds of art and hang it all over your house. And
I
talk.
really like him.
He's great. I would put him in BFFs.
Yeah.
Above
Sweet
Florence?
hearts.
I think I'd put him above Florence.
Above Florence.
Yep, there he is. River is water. So another one of those things that's not so much an object, it's just like a element of life. River
I would do
is...
Friends.
River is hot, though.
Would you do Flings?
If Flings is sort of where we personally have our little thirst meter, then yeah. I think
Okay.
River is very attractive. So yeah, Friends and Flings then, these are more aligned than all of the others, which are kind of ranked.
Yeah.
River's whole thing is that she is
Yeah.
she has 3 different states of matter, of course. Steam, solid, and liquid. Or gaseous, vapor. Anyway, I'm over-explaining this. You eventually get her to be comfortable with herself, basically, in all of her forms. We have Eddie and Volt as 2 different characters. In this case, I think I will keep them separated, actually. Because they are pretty... They're so this is mild spoilers, but they're 2 halves of the same whole, basically. This is your breaker box, the electricity in your house. Eddie is kind of the original, and he splits off Volt to sort of be like the charming front-facing person.
Yeah.
Where Eddie kind of tries to take care of your stressed out system around the clock. Eddie takes a lot of warming up. Volt immediately comes on to you. They're different enough personalities that I think they make sense separated, even though they do come together.
Yeah, I would put them both in the same place.
All right, we can do that. I think they might be BFFs or sweetheart material.
Yeah.
I would put them low, though.
That's fair.
Okay.
I really like them.
They're good. They have a good art.
I like them more than Florence, but
yeah, the thing about Florence is I think her character design is pulling a lot of weight for me here. Mm-hmm. I think Eddie and Volt it's a better story for sure.
Yeah.
Koa is your couch. Koa is like Korean and Hawaiian or something. Definitely Hawaiian. He does have a Korean-Hawaiian fusion place.
Yes.
That comes up in the Mitchell Lynn storyline. Koa is very placid. The way that you get top marks with him is you just vibe with him and you don't really talk.
Yeah, I would say friends.
Yeah, I think he's friends. Maybe like here?
Okay.
Dolly is a dust bunny, and they're going for that like classic Playboy look, but she's also like an archaeologist and an academic. And obviously has a southern drawl because she's named Dolly.
Yeah.
I really like Dolly.
Yeah, I would do sweethearts.
I would do spouse material. I really like Dolly.
Okay. Just because we need more spouse material.
Okay. I'll put her definitely behind Abel.
Yeah.
So Dolly has this great like date where you go and you see the ruins of like this dust bunny society.
That was cool.
And when you realize her, which is something you can do by the end of the game, where you make these objects into actual humans, her human outfit is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
She basically also has the in-world equivalent of an OnlyFans. So they're trying to do like the hot for teacher thing, but the way that she comes to love you is if you genuinely pay attention to her academic interests.
Yeah. I don't like hot for teacher, but I like her.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and the way that she ends up liking you is if you don't play into that trope, actually. So it's a little bit of a bait and switch with Dolly. Dante is like an ethical pickup artist. He's your fireplace, and he's all about smoldering love, and so he teaches you how to like introduce yourself to people and kind of stoke their flames.
Yeah.
His human form is gorgeous.
Yeah.
With like the pompadour and the tattoos and everything. Mm-hmm. As such, I think he's only a fling or a friend.
Yeah. Which would you say, fling or friend?
I'd put him in friend, but maybe I'm being generous.
I would do friend. Yeah.
All right. Oh, Telly.
Hot mess.
Yeah, that might be fair. So Telly speaks entirely in ryming couplets, which I actually think is very impressive for the writers, and the performer is good. The voice actor for Telly I quite like. But he also has a habit of just like saying catchphrases from television shows, which I find extremely annoying. Yeah, he's definitely better than Shelley, though.
Yeah.
Connie Soul is pretty great. Connie Soul is your console, and her thing is sort of like a mystery roguelike.
Yeah.
Where you end up in media res in this like sci-fi scenario, and you have to play through it like Edge of Eternity style, picking up different clues to help her like solve the sci-fi mystery. Yeah. And then once you do that, she realizes who she is, that she isn't all these fractured personalities. She's actually a video game console. And her human form is like a voice director, which is cool. So yeah, definitely a very meta character for a game that is really driven by voice actors. Mm-hmm. But I like her a lot. I'd put her in BFFs. I really like her, but I don't want to.
We didn't get much of a connection. So I would do fling.
Man, that's doing her dirty. Can I talk you into friends? I would put her in BFFs.
Yeah, I guess we can do friends, but like I didn't feel a connection with her at all, which I feel like is a requisite for BFFs or friends. But she's cool, so like
she's very cool.
So like
and I like her whole quest arc. All right, I really like her though.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, and like we said, friends and flings are at equal level. just one is...
Yeah. One is people that you would genuinely want to be friends with you for the rest of your life, and the other is, you'd just be happy dating them occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That wounds me, but that's okay. Keys is your piano. From Nigeria, was in like a music conservatory or something, and is shocked to be slumming it in your house. Gradually learns to be less prissy, and then eventually performs an entire concerto,
Which was amazing.
which is crazy. There's so much music in this game, and it's it's like a pretty respectably length concerto. However, I can't really give her anything better than meh.
I was gonna say a hot mess, but we can go meh.
You think she's a mess?
Well, she's a little messy. Like, she has bad relationships with the rest of the house until she comes
repairs
around.
them.
Yeah,
we can put her there. She is not like a mess in the sense that she's not well put together, though.
Right.
She's obviously
very
the epitome
put
of
together.
classical elegance.
Yeah.
Gaia is perfect. Almost perfect. Gaia is the globe. She's a globe trotter. She goes on this really fun quest with a pirate and some boxes. And she encourages you to meet other people and figure out where they're from. I'd easily put her in spouse material.
I'll let you do that.
Where would you put her?
Sweethearts.
I really like her. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Captain Jacques Perrault.
Hot mess.
Oh, really?
Well, he's
Jacques Perrault, he's a very pugnacious...
pugnacious.
He's a ship in a bottle. So he's a pirate captain who constantly threatens you. But I really like his loquacity. I think he's funny. But we could put him on hot
What would
mess.
you put him under?
No, that's probably right. But he's like the very tippy top of that. Because in this case, we're saying that hot mess can sometimes be good in that they're funny.
Yeah.
And he's certainly in that. So if the bottom of hot mess is like, don't touch this person, well, that's what yikes is for.
That's what
and we didn't put Shelley in yikes.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Parker. Parker is definitely also a hot mess. Voiced by Brennan Lee Mulligan. He is the board games, and you play 3 different board games, and then he rolls for your relationship status.
Yeah.
And you get bonuses if you've beaten him in those other games. You can fluster him by doing sexy things in the other games, which we did, but alas, we only got the friendship ending with him, which is probably for the best because he is absolutely a hot mess. I'd probably put him like here.
Okay.
Okay. The Brennan Lee Mulligan performance is bombastic and hilarious. This is not a representation of how we think the character design or the voice actors did. This is just how we evaluate the personalities. Mateo's a sweetheart.
I love him.
Yeah, we can put him in spouse. He runs
animal rescue.
Yeah, like an animal. They call them the inanimals.
Because they're objects.
They're little like objects that are like left behind. So little bits of thread or... Anyway, so he basically has like a dog rescue, and you run around trying to find his lost pups. And he's just a total sweetheart. He is a blanket. This is his character design.
I would go with spouse material.
I agree. I'd probably put him like here or here.
Yeah.
Where, here?
Either of those.
Okay, we'll put him there. He is definitely... So, I mean, in terms of like people who would legitimately be amazing husbands, these two. Absolutely. 100%. Tina's terrible.
She's a yikes.
She's a triangle, like the musical instrument. She's into love triangles, obviously. She's really catty and kind of has like a Jersey accent or something. And she hated us pretty early on because we read her journal, even though she telegraphed that she wanted us to read it.
Yeah. In the journal it said that she hated us.
Yeah,
as
so
well.
she might have... Her hatred may have predated that. So I don't really know how to have helped that, but I had no interest in doing so. She's bad. Is she as bad as Lux? Probably not.
No.
Actually. Lux we actually were friends with because Lux doesn't actively hate you, but I would rather spend time with Tina than Lux. Even though I'd rather not spend time with either of them. Beverly is really great. Voiced by Marisha Ray. She's your bar. You work with her and come up with all sorts of different drinks. And you help her establish a successful bar.
I would say BFF.
Yeah, I agree. Where though? Maybe
low
here?
BFF.
I think she's better than Florence.
Okay.
There we go. And Florence, the main thing that docks her is you just don't see much of her. And when you see her, she's with Celia, and she's definitely the kind of submissive personality compared to Celia.
Yeah.
Mitchell Lynn is your food and is also food critic. He's like a pretty classic archetype.
Yeah, elitist.
He's snobby. Yeah. You go on various dates with him to restaurants around the house, and you can kind of shape his opinions based on your reaction to the food in the venue.
Yeah.
He ended up hating us, and he said that all of the dates we went on were terrible, but we don't know why.
Yeah.
This could have been a glitch. Because he told us after each date that he enjoyed it and he had a good time.
Yeah. Like, it seemed to be going really well, and then all of a sudden it was like, and we hate.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, it was confounding.
We were able to fix that, which was nice.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all of that said, I can't really bring myself any much higher than meh.
Oh, interesting.
Would you put him in Friends?
Friends or fling. I think he'd be fun to date, although, yeah.
We could put him in Flings. I'm a little afraid that Friends is a little too all-encompassing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would put him pretty low on Flings.
Yeah, low fling.
Man, you wound me here with Jeremy as well. I might have to put in, like, two different... I'm going to have to put in the James one.
Yeah.
And this is the James and Arvilla one. All right, we're putting him there. Fabrizio, I feel, is like the definition of a fling.
Yeah.
But he's high fling.
Yeah.
He's your cabinets. His whole personality is that he's Italian. Hilariously so. Like in his epilogue, the whole thing is that he's like employed by the Italian government to promote Italy, but he's so upset whenever anybody leaves
that he'll track him to the airport.
He stalks them to the airport to try and convince them to stay in Italy forever. I think he's very funny. He's like loquacious and over the top and sings your praises. Yeah, look, you can go right there.
Yeah, I really like him.
Sinclair is like the most cracked
Yikes.
character out of all of them. Yeah, he's definitely a yikes. I enjoy him though.
Yikes.
I think he's a Nick Thurston character, and a lot of the characters he wrote are just a little unhinged. But Sinclair obviously looks like a sink, doesn't really look like a human. He actually claims to have been a human that was transformed into a sink. Yeah, we can put him in yikes, but he's high yikes, just because I'm fond of him. Or would you put him below Timothy Timepiece? See, Timothy Timepiece is just irritating in that he's kind of like a bland Mr. Mephistopheles.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, buddy. He's got a lot to say about Sinclair.
His is messed up.
Freddy Yeti is your fridge and freezer. He's very chill, except when you set him off when he can become like monstrously angry. So he has like an anger issue.
I like him.
I like him too.
Sweethearts.
Oh, you like him that much? All right, I'll bite.
Like low sweethearts, yeah.
Yeah. Stefan is a lot harder to like. He's incredibly abrasive. He's your stove. And he's also an elitist about how food is prepared.
He kind of falls into the trope of the angry black chef.
Yeah.
Which is a little too bad, but...
Right. I mean, there are a lot of angry chefs in general, as I understand it.
Yeah, but like...
And of course, he does open up, and he can be pretty sweet. He's got a kitchen timer named Mr. Cluckles, who gets transformed into a human chicken until that's changed, and then he's just a normal chicken when he gets realized. I can't put him... I mean, maybe Hot Mess?
Meh.
Oh, yeah.
Like a high...
That is pretty damning.
Meh.
You know? We don't even think highly enough of you to think that you're interesting enough to be a hot mess. Or kind of a, you know...
Like, he's put together enough...
Yeah.
...to not be a hot mess.
The voice actor does a really good job with him when he's flustered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Luke Nukem is your microwave. I think this is also Nick Thurston. So, also an unhinged character.
I would put him under yikes.
Yeah. Or hot mess. I think he's a definition of hot mess. But yeah, we can put him in your yikes. I'd put him like there.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a Duke Nukem kind of joke. He's like a post-apocalyptic kind of super soldier type. Miranda's nice. I like Miranda a lot.
Yeah.
Miranda is like a Chicana pop singer. She's your toaster, but she dreams for better things.
Yeah. Singer-songwriter.
Yeah. And again, because this is Date Everything and they didn't go halfway on anything, they have like a whole pop song in there that she'll sing to you eventually. I would put her in BFFs or Sweethearts.
Yeah, I'd be good with that.
Okay, where did we put her though?
Yeah.
Behind Florence or
Above
Florence?
Florence.
Yeah, sorry, Florence. She's the floor. Dishy.
Yikes.
Dishy is your smart dishwasher who insists on being connected to the internet, and I kept on rejecting that claim after many, many tries, and then he hated us. Then we got Candy, which is a mechanic where you can use it to reset to the higher level, I think.
Yeah.
So then we became friends, but in order to close out another relationship, I had to progress that one, and we ended up having him download lots of updates and become like a sex machine or something. He is definitely a yikes. He's kind of a low yikes too. He's probably right there.
Yeah.
Though canonically, we did make a love to him a lot. Even though the game also states that you're not technically having sex with these creatures.
Yeah.
You're having like some sort of like wavelength stuff. And only when they're human can you have any kind of actual intimate relationship. Daisuke is your dishware. Also your cutlery. I find him very boring. For me, he's extremely meh. He's a perfectionist.
Friend?
I would put him in meh. But if you want to put him in fling...
I'll put him in fling.
Alright. I'd put him low fling, though.
Yeah, low fling.
I really like Friar Errol because the writer who wrote is also like the narrative director. Wrote a lot of good characters, and Friar Errol's whole thing is that he's an air fryer who preaches about
convection.
Yeah, the glories of convection heating, which is how everyone who has an air fryer talks about air fryers.
Yeah.
Like before we got an air fryer, it did feel like there was some cult we were being told to join. So I'm really happy that they picked up on that. But he's not someone you'd ever want to date, even though we did. I think he's like a hot mess.
Okay.
He's high hot mess though.
High hot mess.
Yeah. And I just really... It's also, the Critical Role guy.
Liam O'Brien.
Liam O'Brien voices him, and it's a good performance.
Next one is about
Okay.
Kopi.
Kopi is really nice. Your coffee maker, very pleasant. Whole thing is about getting under the heel of the corporate coffee overlords and starting her own coffee business. I don't feel very strongly about her, though.
Low friends?
She could be low friends or high flings. Yeah, low friends makes sense. Probably he... Well, hold on. Now that I'm looking at all these other people, I'm like, yeah. Because we put Phoenicia in friends, and I actually don't like Phoenicia that much.
Yeah.
Honestly. She might be there.
High friends.
Yeah, she might be high friends.
Yeah.
She's also the way to consistently meet Nightmare, who is a great character.
Okay.
All right, Cam, your trash can.
Need to end.
Cam is really sardonic. You need really high empathy points to progress with him. And we ended up being his friend. Unlike Stella, we had those empathy points when they came into play. So we were able to finish him off.
Yeah.
I don't feel very strongly about him. I would put him in a meh, almost.
Oh, I would say a hot mess.
Well, he is a mess. He's pretty low on the hot mess scale, though. Maybe here. With apologies to Telly, who I do genuinely think is an interesting character. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to I. Ronaldini, who is your iron. He takes a lot of work. You have to get to the end of Bobby Pin's questline so that you can use Bobby to jimmy open the little door that he's behind. And of course, he's your iron since he's I. Ron. He's a magician. He's also from Saskatchewan. And we got him to write an autobiography that was more truthful about his humble Canadian origins and the sort of grandiose, pompous magician background he was going for. So I like him.
I'm a meh.
Oh, really? I would say hot mess over meh.
Okay, we can put him on hot mess.
I would probably put
I don't think he's that messy.
Yeah, but meh is kind of the most damning category because it means he's left essentially no impression, and I think he left an impression. High meh, then?
Yeah.
All right. Amir is your mirror. He's very flattering. He compliments you constantly, and he didn't leave me much of an impression on me either.
I like him.
Oh, man. See, I'm beginning to think that this is rather than compromise on both of our tastes, maybe we need to do two separate lists.
But we knew like this would be the case. We have different tastes.
Yeah.
I mean, we ended up together, but we have very different tastes.
Well,
in
I mean
people.
that's interesting. So where would you put Amir then?
Maybe under flings or a hot mess.
Yeah, he's not messy at all. I'd put low fling.
Okay.
Maybe here.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. Jean-Luc Pissoir is a French rapper or crapper. The entire pun is just solely based on the fact that crap and rap sound like each other. He's actually kind of difficult because you have to pick the right rap lines to compete with him. And we ended up, through some save scumming, actually we could have gotten a perfect score with him and therefore earned his love.
Mm-hmm.
But we were timid and we only got friendship. I don't love him. I think he's like a meh or a hot mess.
I would put him under hot mess.
Yeah, I agree. He's probably low to maybe here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Johnny Splash is
Elvis impersonator.
is an Elvis impersonator who doesn't know he's an Elvis impersonator. That's the whole joke. And he's a shower, so he's a singer, which is very funny. He tries to compete in like an American Idol style thing and thinks that he has a lot of promise and ends up, just being kind of relegated to like a joke contestant. And then when he's realized, he ends up trying to sign with a label, but they just see him as an Elvis impersonator and he doesn't know who Elvis is, etc., etc. He's okay. He's kind of like a meh to me.
Yeah.
We could put him in hot mess if we want to. I mean, he is amusing, and he's also very sweet on you. He wants you to like wear his Letterman jacket and all that. All right, high meh though.
High meh.
I mean, I like Ron more than you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess he goes there. Bathsheba is voiced by Anjali Bhimani, and I like Anjali Bhimani, having just played Sunderfolk, where she voices literally all the characters. But Bathsheba herself is kind of awful.
Very annoying.
Really arrogant. Her whole arc is about you try to make friends for her across the house, but of course the only friends she wants are those that flatter her. And she actually will never take any criticism.
And then she blames you.
Yes, and then she blames you. So we had to use some candy to get a friendship ending with her, because otherwise she hated us for being too truthful. She's a yikes, maybe,
yeah.
or a hot mess.
Hot mess.
She's kind of the definition of a hot mess.
Yeah, and I wonder if we could have done her route differently.
It's possible, yeah, but we don't know where we would kind of went off with her. We might have been able to kind of transform her into a more like self-aware character. Who knows?
But we failed.
With the epilogue that we got, she ends up kind of reigning over like a medieval time style restaurant as like a queen, which suits her. And if she's a hot mess, she's a high hot mess, I think. She is hot. All of her character designs are sexy. I think she probably goes behind Jacques, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah. We don't like Rebel.
No.
Rebel is a punk character, really crass and loudmouthed, rubber ducky. Friends with Bathsheba because they both
are
kibitz and together. Yeah, exactly. Rebel also wanders around. So she'll just show up, or they'll just show up randomly, and then kind of solicit things from you, usually ranging from like insults to like sexual advances. She frequently moons you. And when she's a human, she forms some sort of like after-school club for punk kids that apparently does more good than harm. In any case, I think she's like a yikes or a meh.
Yikes.
Yeah, she's a high yikes, though.
A high yikes.
She's not that high of a yikes, honestly. Better than Luke?
No.
Probably right there. Barry Styles is your scatterbrained cosmetics, and also like soaps and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He has executive functioning issues. He's highly coded as having ADHD. He flits from one obsession to another. He's very sweet, though.
Yeah, I would put him under, like, Friends.
Yeah, Friends, yeah. I think so. But he's low Friends.
Yeah.
He's probably here.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe
I put him at the bottom. But
you like Dante better?
I like Dante a little more.
Yeah, that's fine. Tyrell is your towels.
I like Tyrell.
Yeah. Yeah, he's probably also the most, like, sexy of the male character designs. And I think he's a little boring, but I really likes him. I don't know. I can't even really remember what his whole thing is. He's got like a towel animals. He does like unique folds.
Yeah.
Um,
That and like he wants to be a beach towel.
he aspires to be a beach towel. He likes to clean up messes. He comes from like a long line of towels. He's very excited to become human. And once he's human, I can't even remember what he does with his humanity.
Yeah.
Because he did not leave much of an impression on me. So I'm mad, but you're probably higher.
Yeah. I would do Friends.
Where?
Low Friends. Maybe above Dante.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I would put him below.
Okay.
Man, yeah. What does he do? What's his epilogue about?
I missed it.
You missed his epilogue?
Yeah.
Goodness. Played this game for like 60, 70 hours, and what can we say for it?
More than that.
All right. Faria is your first aid kit. She is really exuberant and very excited to diagnose you with all sorts of dire symptoms. You help her study for her medical exams. And we got a friendship ending with her, but we also helped her ace the exam, so I feel really good about that. I like her enthusiasm. I've actually known some med students that are kind of like her, though most of them end up more beaten down by the end of the process than Faria seems to be.
Yeah.
I would put her in Friends.
Okay.
I would actually put her kind of high in Friends.
Oh, interesting.
Probably like right there. But what do you think?
I could put her above Celia.
You put her above Celia.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't have very many feelings about Koa. I don't know what Koa is.
I like Koa.
All right. Yeah, we could put him there. Yeah, Celia is actually looking better and better to me. All right, Dasha's perfect.
Yep, Dasha's number one.
Dasha's your office desk. She's a very strong lady. This is where Arvila and I totally concur. We love strong ladies. Her whole thing is she lifts you up. You also go on practice dates with her.
Yeah.
Which, of course, you steadily fall in love through these practice dates, which she coaches you on. Abel has a thing for her, and I think there might be some way to pair them up, but we never did it. It would have been a long process if so.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Her epilogue was a little bittersweet.
Mm-hmm.
She ends up being like a baker, and there's like, it implies that there's some sort of sadness that she's covering for, and Abel has like a similar line, which implies to me that maybe the canon ending is that you get them together. But regardless, Dasha is like clearly the number one.
Yep.
Jerry's your junk drawer. He's a hot mess or a meh. He's probably a meh, honestly.
Meh.
Yeah. And he's a low meh, too.
Yeah.
He is a hoarder, and you get him to upcycle his stuff into an art piece, which was like a little carousel, which is very pretty. But otherwise, he has like almost no redeeming qualities. So he is like the definition of a meh, probably at the very bottom, honestly. Maybe Stella.
Yeah, I think he's above Stella.
He's right there. Penelope is your office supplies. I really like her outfits, both her human one and her object one. They both reflect like loose leaf paper and pens and little sticky notes. She goes on a lot of dates, and in kind of encouraging her through those dates, eventually she'll fall for you. Dates with other people in the house, so you get to see them come by. I like her. I think I can only really put her in Friends or Flings, though. Maybe even Flings.
Okay. Yeah. I don't have strong feelings about her at all.
I would put her here. I think Dorian we should put into Friends category. Unless you really want him.
Unless you move him up to Sweethearts.
Yeah. I think that's fine.
Okay.
You want him at the bottom, or do you want him above Freddie?
Ooh.
Maybe here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. Okay. Mac. We didn't really love Mac.
Yeah,
Mac is also kind of meh.
Yeah, I put them under
Mac
meh.
is your computer. They want to be upgraded, which at first I thought was like some sort of code for wanting like gender affirming surgery or something, that you were like encouraging them to get this thing that would make them feel better about themselves. If it's an analogy for that, it's a really loose one. They're just boring. They speak in a really kind of like neutral, computery way. They help you with a lot of quest lines, though. And, like, there's nothing offensive about Mac. There's just nothing very, like, interesting about them either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're probably, like, here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Willie is the manifestation of work, which you get by using the Dateables on your work app after you're fired or let go your first day in the office or your first day in remote work. Willie's whole thing is that she interviews people across the house to try and find someone that she can do business with. She frets about AI taking jobs as it took yours, because that's all part of the frame narrative. But since it links up with the frame narrative, which is really uninteresting, I'm not that uninspired by her.
Yeah.
She's got this Grace Jones aesthetic, though.
Right.
So I think aesthetically she's awesome.
Yeah, she looks cool.
Yeah, and she's got this kind of swooping V, which is the logo of the kind of Elon Musk sort of styled Silicon Valley company that you work for, Valdivian. I like her personality. She's very, like, no nonsense.
Would you put her under Friends then?
Yeah, I could put her under Friends.
I have no opinion of her.
You have no opinion of her.
We didn't hit off.
You don't really like Tyrell. Yeah, I put her here then.
Okay.
Yeah, and then that's all I'll say about Willie. Lyric is all written communication. So literature, you help him write a book, and this is another instance where just the depth of writing comes into play because there are so many different ways that the book can be written. It takes many different branching paths, and you can actually write multiple books and to see just how much there is, and then you get it published. And ironically, when they become human, they don't actually go into literature. They become like a super translator, an interpreter, a celebrity interpreter, they call him. Still, Lyric doesn't really leave much of an impression.
Yeah.
And I don't really like his design either.
No.
So I'd probably have
Meh?
to put him in meh. Yeah, he's probably a great here.
Okay.
Rogel Maiwenawa, if I'm saying that correctly. I've heard it many times, but even in the game, there are people who mispronounce it and then are corrected. It's like a Maori earth goddess that you get. She's a geode that you find through another quest line, and is literally a goddess and treats you like a subject.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, she's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like she's a meh.
Yeah.
She's a high meh, though. Probably here.
Okay.
Okay. Chance is the Matt Mercer character, is your D20, and is a DM. We ended up going on a hilarious adventure with Dasha, even though Dasha didn't actually contribute very much. But it was still a good time.
I don't think he was a very good GM.
Yeah, that's the irony. He kind of railroads you.
He railroads you, and then he doesn't bring in the other characters, though. So, like Dasha, I don't think he asked Dasha what she did in the action once.
Yeah, so that's more the writer's fault.
Yeah.
But it does also mean
I like Chance.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's a great GM.
Yeah, which is really ironic because they voiced one of the most famous GMs of all time to do him.
Of all time. There will be no future GM more popular.
One of the most famous. I said one of the most famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a meh, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Where would you put him?
I put him up with Sweethearts.
What?
I liked him.
You liked him, you just didn't like how he GM'd.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I could move him down to Friends or Flings.
I'll meet you. Why don't we put Prissy up here?
Okay.
And because I think you're right. The reason why we downgraded Prissy is because our baby objected very loudly. And we were kind of on the fence. But I think Prissy does deserve to be at the bottom of the Sweetheart tier. And we can move Chance to the upper Friends tier. Maybe here?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Chance is literally a sweetheart. He's a very nice guy. Maggie is your magnifying glass. You solve little mysteries with her. We think we didn't solve the last one to her satisfaction because she was hot for us and then cooled down and just gave us a friend ending.
Yeah.
She's a friend.
Okay.
I think. I actually really like her. I think if we had seen more of her, I might have upgraded her to Sweethearts.
Mm-hmm.
I do think her character design is incredibly cute. But as such, I think she's right there.
Okay.
Yeah, Koa being this high is surprising to me. But this is all our Vela talking.
Koa.
Winifred is your boiler. She has a thing with River since they've known each other so intimately for so long. She becomes kind of like a couples counselor, but she also is really into like threesomes when she's invited to them. Uh, and she's sort of like the grand dame of the house, and she's been through a lot. I mean, I like her. I think she's kind of trying to have it both ways by like sort of indicating that like polyamorous relationships take a lot of work, but also like being kind of eager to do them. But she didn't let us into that whole mix.
Yeah, but just because you're poly doesn't mean you go for everyone.
No, I know. I feel like she's sort of like wishy-washy. But I don't know where you would put Winnie.
I don't have strong feelings.
Yeah, I don't either. Hot Mess feels too low. Flings feels kind of wrong. I guess she's low Friends. See, I'm worried that Friends is just going to be like the catch-all category.
She could be a fling.
Where would she go? Maybe we put her next to
River.
River.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually like River and Connie more than you do too. I would upgrade them, but that's fine. Rainey is your record player. She's like a 1920s flapper gal. Her whole thing is that she was damaged in like a wild party and isn't all there, and so you kind of repair her. So it's sort of like an analogy to dementia or something like that, but you do end up getting her back on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more like she has like a period where she's like kind of out of it and dances to her own rhythm. But I like her. I like Rainey a lot. I would easily put her in I think she could go in Sweethearts. Where would you put her?
Okay. I would put her a little below that, but I can be convinced.
We could put her in Friends. It's just Friends is getting pretty broad.
Yeah, and I would do more fling than Friends, so we can do Sweethearts.
All right, we'll put her at the bottoms of Sweethearts. Scandelabra, a.k.a. John Wick, is a candelabra who just collects rumors on everyone else and loves salacious gossip, just like the name. This is a spoiler, but the you find out through investigating with Maggie that it's all an affectation that is actually from New Jersey and may not even be pure silver, as he contends that he is. And then he starts going by John Wick, which is apparently his real name. So there's, lots of analogies to the action series. After that, he's kind of bad. He's either a hot mess or a yikes.
Let's do Hot Mess.
Yeah, he's kind of low, though.
Yeah.
Maybe here. Yeah, I think that's about right for Candelabra. Arma is your alarm. I think this is also...
Fire Alarm.
Fire Alarm is also like a Nick Thurston character. Deals with anxiety because she saw a house go up in smoke.
Yeah, PTSD.
Yeah, exactly. And so she's too vigilant. Not unlike the fire alarm in our house, which goes off. What was it the other day?
Yeah, we were doing pizza.
Yeah, I guess it was just... Anyway.
Maybe some steam.
So she's constantly beeping and like... she has a couple false alarms, but then a true one that you help her with. And then to kind of like try to decompress, she ends up like turning to some pretty bad habits. Like one of them is like she starts smoking, which is funny. And then you meet this sort of like dastardly cigarette characters that, she shouldn't be hanging out with. So her arc is pretty wide. Like it does encompass a lot. She's a pretty well-rounded character. And I think she joins the Forest Service after she's realized. I think that's Arma.
Fling?
All of that said, yeah, I think Fling. She's kind of high, though. Maybe here.
Okay.
After Connie.
Yeah.
Betty is your bed. She's really into you. Gives you bedroom eyes. I think her design is really cute. She's fairly assertive.
Yeah. Sweetheart
she's
or
also
spouse material?
Oh, spouse material. No, I think she's a sweetheart.
Okay.
But how high is she?
Above Bev.
Above Bev? You like Betty that much? I mean, I like Betty too, but I think Bev has just more going on. I could put her here.
Okay.
Yeah, she becomes an intimacy coach when she's realized. Diana is your diary. Initial conversations with her are super confused because she's not very lucid. She just kind of spurts back words that you fed her over the years, and her whole thing is she kind of develops her own personality apart from you. But then can become like your confidant and your lover.
Mm-hmm.
But her whole thing is that, all of her memories are yours, so she has to like differentiate herself.
Hot mess.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Like we talked with her like once or twice, and then we're like, oh, she's real messy, and didn't talk to her again for a long time.
Yeah. I'd probably put her right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damon. Damon is a bug. So all of Damon's things are like very meta and fourth wall breaking. If you follow their quest line, you can eventually clip out of your house and end up exploring your neighborhood, and you can walk into other rooms, other houses, which are all completely empty on the inside. Except for one, which is a reference to Lucinda's like special red room, and then another where you can find Damon after the devs tried to exorcise him. I don't really like Damon that much. They're trying to be like really unsettling, and they do a lot of things with the text boxes.
I think it's interesting, or like
the idea of Damon is very interesting. The idea is that Damon, there was a character, Dina, who was going to be your dresser, but was cut because the developers thought, and this is all in game, that Dina overlapped too much with themes that other characters had to do with like grooming and clothing. Mm-hmm. So you can essentially sometimes see like a little sketch of Dina, but then having been cut, Damon sort of persists as this artifact, and sort of like manipulates time and space. You can get whatever ending you want with them immediately, and then you can change that ending pretty much whenever you want as well. But we decided to do a love ending. And they're clearly going a little bit for like horror with them, but I was never actually that scared. I was mostly just annoyed. Like there's one sequence where you just have to tap through like a ton of dialogue.
Tap.
Because the idea is that like everything glitches and like the narrator starts to glitch, and but all in all, I don't think Damon is very effective. So I would put Damon in hot mess.
Yeah.
Probably low too. Maybe like here. Okay. Benoit is unspecified sex toy.
Well, I think multiple. Just sex toys in general.
Just a thing of sex toys. Obviously, the most explicit character. And not a great one either. They have like a whole thing where they want to be like a human taco. You just have to like participate in their like weird fantasy about getting like taco meat slathered on them. We wanted to just be friends with Benoit. We could not handle Benoit in any other capacity.
High hot mess.
Yeah. Not that high though. Maybe here.
Okay.
Hirohime! You only get Hirohime if you've realized 10 people. And your friend Sam, who is dateable, technically every character you can date, even the ones that aren't like household objects. Mm-hmm. Your friend Sam sends a statuette of her to you because you've been talking to her about how you can realize objects now and make them like actual humans. So she wants her favorite anime character to be like in the real world. Hirohime has this whole arc where you have to train as a tennis star, and then her coach / cat tennis ball god of tennis tries to tell you that you should let her win, like deliberately lose against her in the finals. Otherwise she'll be overtaken by dread and like become like a villain. But Hiro doesn't want that, and then if you actually do beat her in the finals, in the second season arc, she overcomes you and becomes the hero star and is very happy, and we got a love ending with her. I like her a lot.
I don't have strong
She's like a magical girl, but they specifically say she's a college freshman because they want to avoid the whole like underage anime thing. And her love never gets like very explicit because I think they were still like, the most you do is like kiss. They wanted to be careful there. I think she's a friend or a fling.
Okay.
I could put her in Sweethearts, but since you're so neutral on her, why don't we just stick her in Friends?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I mean, I'm going to keep on advocating people over Koa.
Okay.
But We can put her below Koa if you like.
She can go above Koa.
Okay. All right, Terry is your teddy bear. He tells you little bedtime stories. I say little, but they're actually quite long. We only got to one of them, through to the end of one of them, which was a very kind of like meta story about these stars that become children and then like live out a life. And one of the children dies young, and then the other lives a rich, full life, and they're reunited after he dies. He's just a warm teddy bear of a person. He becomes like a radio host, and then just sort of like a coffee shop regular who dispenses like warm advice and wisdom.
I would put him under Sweethearts.
Oh, you like him that much?
Yeah.
Okay. Where?
Low.
Low.
Yeah, there.
Okay. I feel like Prissy needs to move up.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can keep Teddy there. Or maybe we put Teddy here.
Okay.
Okay. Hanks. Oh, they have all of the Hanks labeled differently. That's funny. I don't think we're going to get that granular with them. Though Hank 2 is actually the best, because Hank 2 is the one that is slightly smarter than the others. They are like adrenaline junkies who are your hangers, and they're bros that all talk in unison and are kind of like this extreme sports team that is recruited by kind of like an evil company called Red Bull.
But not
as
a
in
drinks
bowls,
company.
yes, as in what you contain things in.
A bowl. They make for a great, fun group cosplay.
They would, yeah. Yeah. But, I don't think I can put them anywhere other than meh. They're high meh, though.
Yeah.
They're not that high meh. Sorry, Mac. I mean, the Hanks have a lot of energy, and I do enjoy all of their hijinks, but yeah, there's nothing that attractive about them. Mm-hmm. Though, they did differentiate all of their personalities, so Hank 1 is sort of, well, hold on. I say that. I would say that 2 of them have a different personality. Hank 2 is slightly smarter because he realizes that they're being exploited. One? Yeah, they're being exploited by the company, and Hank 2 points that out to everyone else. Hank 3 is really into you. Hank 4 seems to be the dumbest one, and Hanks 1 and 5 are kind of interchangeable. Okay, Washford and Drysdale. We ended up romancing Rochford and friending Drysdale, but chose to get them together, which downgraded us with Washford, but I think that's for the best, because they're your washer and dryer units. They have this long, rich history, and then they've had a falling out, and you can help them get back together. Washford's voice actor
the best voice.
Is like super bassy, and he's also really poetic. And Drysdale is voiced by Neil Newbon of Asturian fame. So they're great. I like them, but I probably couldn't put them higher than Friends.
Yeah, I'd put them under Flang.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. Pretty high though. Probably like Washford at the top and then Drysdale later down.
Above Capri. Interesting.
Okay. I mean, I thought you were really into his deep voice.
I am, but I also really
why don't we put him right there?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Drysdale, put him like there. But we're breaking up the River Winifred, but I guess that's fine. Okay. Harper is the definition of hot mess. She might even be yikes.
I think she's yikes.
Yeah, I like Harper because I have a thing for redheads. And she's got a very cute design. She was apparently also one of the first characters they ever wrote. She is your clothing hamper, and she has a really toxic relationship with Dirk. So we actually saw a lot of these facets because we ended up trying to get them together because there's several people you can do that for, and it works out. But they definitely are bad together. They do nothing but drag each other down. Harper constantly harps on him and accuses him of sleeping around. Dirk says that she never gives him any space, and then they just go around sniping each other.
Yeah.
So they're terrible, and they're terrible together.
They're both yikes.
Yeah, and they sort of present the like threesome invitation as like a horror.
Yeah.
Where they're like smiling at you and like gesturing you to partake of their nonsense. So we backed out of that, reloaded a save, and got them to split. Harper. Yeah, we could put Harper and Yikes, and probably Dirk and Hot Mess, because Dirk is definitely the least toxic of the two.
Really?
He's still not great.
I think like after we met him in the closet,
Yeah, so
like
after
that
you-
would put him in Yikes for sure.
After you liberate him, so to speak, he has an alter ego named Clarence. So Dirk is like the dirty clothes and Clarence the clean ones. And both of them are into a Dakimura.
But they also just seem like jerks. Like Clarence is like, okay, it was like, yeah, Harper was right to not trust you and stuff. I'd put them both under Yikes.
I would put her under Hot Mess because she is literally hot, and that's part of what this is about. But
Okay, then Dirk under Yikes.
yeah, the thing is, they're both yikesy. Okay, there,
Okay.
and then Dirk. Maybe Dirk is right there.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the records state that if Harper had a better personality, she'd be great, because her character design is like immaculate. Oh, there's Clarence. Okay, they're the same person. We'll just put them right there. But there you can see the difference. Clarence is definitely worse, though.
Yeah.
Clarence is like conceited and.
Put Clarence other side of Harper. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. She's flanked by her two dudes.
Yeah.
Titus Andromachy is your detergent. She's a strong lady, so that's lots of points for that.
And she speaks in...
Yeah, she speaks in poetry. She's supposed to sound a little bit like Homer or something.
Yeah.
Where she's like this kind of Greek hero who's fighting this impossible battle against like dirt stains and whatever. And she sends her pods, which she calls her dipogenes,
Yeah.
who sort of operate as like a Greek chorus. You play rock, paper, scissors against her. I like her, but we didn't get romance with her. She later leads like a crusade to save the whales or something.
Yeah.
When she's realized. I do like her a lot. She's a little flat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's friends. Probably like here or here.
Either way.
Okay. Henry Hoove is your vacuum and was apparently also one of the first characters the developers ever wrote, but he wasn't really giving us much. You go on a few dates. He's like supposedly an investigator because he goes around kind of like snuffling up all of the hidden things in the house. I had the feeling like we could have gotten him to like offload more of the junk that he's holding in his bag.
Yeah.
Because he sort of has this kind of asthmatic thing where he's constantly wheezing because he needs to
Empty
himself out. So we, for whatever reason, we sort of like missed our shot with Hoove, and we only ever became friends, and we only ever went on like 2 dates.
Yeah, I feel like there was more there that we just failed to tap into.
Which is unfortunate. Yeah. But, you know, we have to kind of, like, rate it off of our experience of these characters, which kind of leans me towards meh.
Okay.
Or flings.
High meh or flings.
I'll put him in meh. He's high meh, though. There.
Okay.
Bobby Pin is kind of like a 1950s sort of West Side Story kind of delinquent. And they kind of roam around the house, trying their hand at various criminal enterprises, which never come off. She eventually pairs up with Iron. Well, I say pair up. They work together. Bobby is like an assistant to his magic show.
Yeah.
I like Bobby, but I don't feel that strongly about Bobby. I would put Bobby in like flings. Maybe.
Yeah, high flings.
Yeah, not even that high.
Oh, okay.
Probably here or here.
Oh, there.
There. Okay. Christoph is your cross trainer, kind of treadmill guy. I think his design is like inspired because they have the like cross trainer handles as like Viking horns, which again is anachronistic. Vikings didn't actually look like that, but it's a great kind of pop culture thing, and I love his Norwegian accent. He is into working you out in all senses of the word, and really espouses violence, which translates to working
Exercise,
out. Yeah, he calls all exercise violence and talks about like bloody conquest, but he never actually hurts anyone. He has a hilarious scene with Penelope. He's the first date that Penelope goes on.
Yeah.
I think he's a fling. Yeah.
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 Okay. Dunk Shuttlecock. I like what they're trying to do with Dunk, but I don't think it's entirely successful. He is a very long quest line where you have to talk to like all of your different sports equipment in the right order. And he's an enthusiast for all things sports, but he turns down all like professional offers because he's in it for the love of the game, not to actually beat anyone. My parents are both really athletic, and my mom competed in college basketball, so this is like anathema to how I think athletes generally think. Like, it's possible to be competitive and yet also not let it go to your head. So I feel like the person who wrote Dunk, Suha,
Was not an
was
athlete.
not really an athlete. Probably knew athletes. I could be completely wrong about that. But it's just in my experience, having competed a little bit, but mostly having seen my parents compete at high levels, like, this is just not how people that are as good at sports think. Like, it's possible to love the game and still want to win. And there's like a part of Dunk that disconnect just didn't quite vibe with me. Dunk's a sweetheart, though. Like, it's the definition of like a himbo jock, but like the most positive version of that.
Yeah.
So I like how they're trying to avoid kind of like jock stereotypes. He is enthusiastic to get you to love sports as much as he does.
Yeah, to find at least some sport that you enjoy.
Exactly. I think he's a
Friend.
fling. Or a friend. Okay. Yeah, we could put him friend. I would put him in fling, but it's up to you.
Okay. I mean, if you think of him like that.
Yeah, I guess friends I reserve for people that I would want to spend more time with. But you're right. We did sort of say that friends and flings kind of stick together.
Yeah.
It's more like how attractive are they?
Bangable. Yeah.
You said it, not me.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't bang him, but I'd be friends.
Yeah,
with
that's
him.
true. Okay. I'd probably put him like right here then.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Fantina. Oof. Fantina starts as a yikes because they're your fan and they are also your biggest fan and they're creepy. But through the course of the relationship, you can get her to kind of understand the real you. She gives you a love ending pretty fast, but then you can kind of like decode it and go back down to friends and then get her to realize that you're like a person and not just like an object of adoration.
Yeah.
And then you can actually date her again on equal footing. So I like that, actually.
I would still do yipes though.
Oh, I wouldn't put her in
because
yikes.
like the first like you don't
I think
necessarily
she's a hot
move
mess.
past the first.
She's
ending.
definitely a yikes if you stop there. But
Yeah.
since we didn't, I think we have to award her hot mess.
Okay.
But she's probably like middle hot mess. She's probably like here.
That's
Here.
middle.
That's high. Yeah, I guess that's high. It's just I saw Benoit here and I was like, oh, I don't like Benoit. Maybe we need to move Benoit down.
We can move Benoit down.
We can move Benoit way down. Yeah. Is Benoit better than Shelley?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shelley is just so needy.
So needy
So
and
needy.
clingy.
I can't.
I mean, she's a shelf, get it? And she's
Yeah.
like a wall-mounted shelf, so she's clingy.
Yeah.
Okay, Fantina then can go like
I like Keys better.
Okay, there she is. She eventually becomes like a non-denominational cheerleader. She just like wanders around the earth, like boosting people up. Stepford, I think we both have a soft spot for Stepford.
Yeah.
He's your trophy cabinet, and he's a trophy husband. I mean, he's called Stepford.
Yep.
You can get him to compete in a competition and actually do well on his own merits, which is sweet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
Is he
he's a
sweet
fling.
enough for sweethearts? Okay, yeah.
I think he's a fling, but he's a high fling. He's
Yeah.
probably like here, somewhere around
Yeah,
here.
there.
Here?
Before Irma.
Okay. Tony! Notice how many characters are like holding their head back.
Apparently that's a sexy
That's the
pose.
sexy thing. You have a soft spot for Tony.
I do have a soft spot
Tony
for Tony.
is like a very self-aware stereotype. He's the catcalling construction worker who thinks that he knows all about romance and clearly doesn't. He's like an Italian American, of course. He's got the kind of New York, like, like, you know what I'm talking about, sort of like leering look. You like him though.
I like him because I don't think, even though that's like the stereotype they're going for, he's not actually gross.
He's not that gross. He doesn't like make weird comments about your body. He just sort of like waggles his eyebrows, basically.
Yeah.
He's probably a hot mess. You could even put him in fling.
I put him in fling.
Okay. Here?
Yeah.
Man, we keep on moving Drysdale down. I mean, honestly,
I don't like Drysdale that much. So.
Yeah. I like... Maybe I'm just letting Neil Newbon kind of cloud my judgment here. But yeah, Drysdale doesn't really have that much going for him apart from Rochford.
Yeah.
Who is great. Beau's awesome. Beau is probably spouse material.
Oh, really? I do Sweetheart.
Okay, I can be talked into Sweethearts. Beau is an Ashley Johnson character, has a pretty extensive quest line where you partner up with Jacques Perrault and Gaia to find the crawl space and everything that's underneath there. They're your boxes, and she eventually becomes, like a world traveler, camp counselor type.
Yeah.
I like Beau a ton. Like, if you think she's a BFF or sweetheart, she would be a very high one. Probably here, maybe even above Art.
Okay.
Okay, there we go. That's our compromise. Because I would marry Beau, but I married you. Keith, I think Keith is a very fun character. He is your skeleton key, and he gives you the candies that you use to upgrade people. He's nothing but pleasant, but
has a wild ending.
This is the biggest spoiler, so close your ears if you don't want to hear it. The whole thing is a con, where he gets you to hack into a crypto account, and he steals all of the crypto, ostensibly because this is just somebody who knows about his backstory and he wants to learn about his past and how he ended up in the crawl space. It's just so that he can get millions, and then he ends up dying in a blaze of glory when he becomes human, as he jumps out off of a plane with all of his ill-earned cash. I think Keith is hilarious.
And high off his rocker.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's very funny, but he has to be like a hot mess or something, which is unfortunate because up to that point he's like clearly friend material. But I do appreciate the writers going that hard with it. It's very funny. It's probably like, I don't know, here.
Okay.
Okay.
I wasn't around for most of the Keith stuff.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry.
I just came in really at his wild ending.
Yeah. Bodhi Windbreaker is a
80s
time
capsule.
capsule. He's a time capsule. And so he kind of represents all things 80s. His hair is like cassette tape. I think the design is very imaginative. He speaks with kind of like a radical surfer bro, sort of like Bill and Ted kind of voice.
I like him.
Yeah, and a lot of his storyline is about kind of like recognizing the good things about the 80s, but like also respecting the bad and complicated things.
And he has a song.
And he's got a song. He sings you a power ballad eventually, which is probably the least impressive of all of the different musical interludes that you can unlock. But it's still good. Do you think he's a friend or a fling?
See, I'd kind of put him at low sweethearts because I feel like that's where those two come together.
Oh, yeah. I don't like him as much as you do. So I would either put him here or I'd put him here. Or even here.
And yeah, that's good with me, I guess.
Okay. Von Trapp. Oh boy. Von Trapp is isolated in the crawl space. He's a rat trap that has lost his purpose because there are no rats. He wants cheese. You get him cheese. No rats come. You have to order rats from Mac online. You can either get real dead rats or you can get a rat plushie. He ends up loving the plushie, which is kind of sweet. When you realize him, he becomes an exterminator.
Or tries to.
Yeah, well, he becomes a very successful exterminator. His marketing is just bad.
Okay.
Because his marketing is like home, as in, where you live, acidal. So they definitely play up the thirstiness of like a rat trap. He's also kind of got like a Danny DeVito kind of patter.
Not attractive at all.
No, not at all. He's a hot mess or a yikes.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's unfair.
I would
maybe
put him
he's
under
a
hot mess, but he's a low hot mess. Even lower than Shelley, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sophia is your safe. You find her after unlocking your attic, and she's a dominatrix. She runs you through a bunch of really uncomfortable scenarios, and then after being realized, actually becomes like an armored truck driver because she knows all about security. So I like that kind of twist to her backstory. But apart from just like how alluring her character design is, I don't think she has much going for her. I think she's a hot mess.
But, like, she's not messy. She is exactly who she says she is.
It's just
so
like,
I put her at the meh.
We said date anything, so we're going to have a dominatrix, and this is the one that you get.
Yeah, and since that's not our thing,
yeah,
I think she's kind of just meh.
She's a fling? Oh, you think she's meh?
We could put her under flings.
Yeah.
The sex would be great, I'm sure.
If you're into it. Yeah. Yeah. I think what differentiates it for me is that meh are people that we don't really feel strongly about. I guess we don't really feel strongly about her.
No.
I guess I feel like I can't claim that she's not. Her character design is effective.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
Okay.
You can put her here, though. Or here.
Wherever. I'm okay with her under flames.
Alright. Monique is your money. She's inside the safe. So you have to like complete Sophia's quest line to even open her up and to get to Monique. Monique is like a very dry, kind of like financial consultant type.
She likes spreadsheets.
She likes spreadsheets and
like
budgeting
spreadsheets.
and responsibility. We apparently weren't responsible enough for her, though, because she only gave us a friendship ending. She forms like some sort of like pizza company.
Yeah.
After she's realized.
Pizza for
She has a very kind of neutral affect. Yeah, she's like an accountant. Very cute design, though. She's got like a leather jacket that's like a wallet, and then there's like a money top.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's cute.
She's very cute.
I do friends.
Okay, yeah. Where?
I like her better than Hector.
Yeah, Hector is kind of high, I think. We might want to downgrade Hector a bit. I think Hector is sort of sweet.
Yeah.
Maybe Hector goes here.
Okay.
And then Monique goes... Wait, Monique is better than Dunk, right? No, I think that's right.
Better than Curtain Rod, though.
Does Dante need to be a little higher?
No.
Okay. I probably swap them.
Okay.
Lady Memoria is like memorabilia. So all of the like junk from your
attic.
Your attic. You sort of declutter with her with the help of Art and Cam. So Art helps you hang stuff up and Cam gets rid of unwanted things. She's a goth. She's got this very kind of like mistress of the night sort of persona, but I like her.
Did she have any overlap with Jerry? Like conversations? Because I feel like they're kind of similar. Like they both, although she wants to get rid of the thing she's holding on
and she
to,
eventually becomes sort of like a dark Marie Kondo is her arc. So she forms like a decluttering business, whose philosophy doesn't really make sense. It's about like embracing the darkness and letting that guide your like decisions on organization, which doesn't really make sense. But I do like her, and I think her character design is very effective. Both of her outfits. So I'd probably put her in flings.
Okay.
Unless you think she deserves
I
higher.
don't have many opinions of her, so flings sounds good.
I put her right there.
Oh man, above Stepford.
Yeah. Okay. You feel better about her being here?
Yeah.
All right. I mean, Stepford is sort of like the definition of a fling. You definitely don't want to spend your whole life with this guy. Lady Memoria might be more of a friend then. But whatever. We'll keep her down there. Holly is a hyperactive
gig
worker, yeah, who sort of wants to spread holiday cheer, like whatever holiday it is. So her character design is wild and incorporates decorations from every holiday you could imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Her whole arc is that you have to get her to slow down and recognize that the company she's working for don't care about her well-being.
Yeah, to stop overworking.
Yeah, exactly. She ends up becoming sort of the same person that she always was, like a delivery person who spreads cheer in the real world.
Hot mess?
But I guess on her own terms. Yeah, hot mess feels fine. I would probably put her here.
Yeah?
Yeah. Erin is air. So you can only encounter her occasionally coming out of one of Hector's vents. She likes it when you don't talk. She wants you to just like appreciate the vibes and the climate. Her human form is weird because it's just a naked woman with some cloudy bits. Eventually she becomes an auctioneer, and I guess the joke is that she goes from appreciating silence and preserving air to
Using
expending air and becoming like a hot mess.
So would you put her under fling?
I put her under fling or even hot mess, but she's not messy at all.
No.
So yeah, I think she's a low fling.
Okay.
I think she probably goes like here.
Okay.
Sorry, Mitchell. Textbox John. I like Textbox John a lot. She is your UI. So we didn't discover her for a while because you actually have to like use the Dateables on a text box.
Yeah.
And specifically a text box that isn't like a dialogue box, which there aren't that many of. She's very cute. She uses a ton of emojis in line with her text. And you can only progress her as you awaken more people. So by the time we found her, we had awakened everyone we needed to, but otherwise she would have paced you out until you got to like, I don't know, 80 people.
Yeah.
She eventually becomes like some sort of accessibility consultant or something.
Mm-hmm.
I like her a lot. I would put her maybe under Sweethearts. I don't know.
Oh, man.
Definitely Friends, though.
Definitely Friends. I'd be okay with high Friends.
Before or after Chance? Or even Bodhi?
Before Chance, I'm okay with.
Okay. I actually feel like Skylar might be a little high.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of Skylar because she's the one who awakens everybody, but her personality is sort of just like, do you suspend your disbelief enough to accept this whole premise? She literally has like a little like spring-loaded mechanism in her goggles called her suspension of disbelief. So you have to like accept all of her explanations for what's going on in order for her to like you. Yeah, I'll probably put her there then. This is high for Bodhi, I think.
I think Bodhi belongs high, though.
Okay. The Sassy Chap is the actual mascot of the game company, the real game company that made this game. And in talking to him, you play this game where you talk to all of the developers.
Yeah.
Voice actors, directors, programmers. Only the ones that are like with SAG-AFTRA actually voice their lines. The rest just have like a little RPG beep boops as they talk to you. It's incredibly impressive how many art assets that they threw in there. And it's a good behind-the-scenes look at the game. Though it's when
cool.
the crashing problems really caught up with us. It crashed 3 times, and it's this really long process.
Because there's so many.
There are 33 developers. And each of them have like a little multiple choice quiz where the joke is that you're dating the developers, like speed dating, so you have to answer which of these things they like best.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So we had to do it several times.
We did, which meant that I got to know the developers really well, so I can tell you a lot about how the game was made. In any case, he's okay. He also really hates Damon, of course, because Damon is a glitch and tries to exile Damon. I don't like him. He's a meh, I think.
Yeah. I would go with meh.
Yeah. Though,
the developers are cool, but he himself is meh.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, he's not really designed to be like a super attractive character. He's just like an MC. Still better than the Hanks. So this is no disrespect to his whole thing. I think his whole thing is very cool, and I wish more games did this, where you could actually see the people behind the game.
Yeah.
All right, Zoe. Zoe is a ghost.
Ooh.
She lands between the sort of object and concept thing, where apparently you can see her because you can see things that aren't like people. I don't know. The point is that she has this tragic backstory where she got involved with like the local occultist who ran seances, and then she died in an accident, actually, after a seance. So they lead it up to make it sound like maybe it was murder. But regardless, the guy was leading her on, and she was like a young college student
Yeah,
who was
so
sort of
it's still
besotted with this like
older
older
man.
man, like in
Still
his
not
later
great.
30s. So it's
He
not
should
great.
not be messing with
But
her.
you also, through realizing her, give her a new shot at life. So she just becomes like another human. I really like Zoe.
Mm-hmm.
Zoe's also from the 80s. Sort of comes off a little bit as like a ditzy Valley girl, but that's because her memories haven't returned until you talk to her more and more.
Yeah.
And so then she wanted to be a doctor, and then after she's realized, I can't quite remember what she does.
She becomes like a ghost therapist.
Oh yeah, she becomes a ghost therapist. She's great. I would put her in Sweethearts.
Okay. Lower Sweethearts.
Sound,
I don't like her as much as you do.
You sound kind of dubious.
I think she's okay.
Is she better than Miranda or Betty?
I think you think that.
Yes. I mean, I proposed it.
I'd put her there.
Okay. I can live with it. XXX Shadow Lord 420 XXX, aka Skips, is Shadow. You find him because there's a shadow that's cast the wrong way off of Gaia's globe. He pretends to be this sort of like primordial entity, but it turns out that he's just like a terminally online kid, basically.
Yeah,
Though
I think he looks far too young.
Though they do lampshade that because he supposedly is before your time, because he was like lurking on like forums, basically, before social media was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So he had all of these friends, and then they sort of gradually drifted apart. And then he wants to be your friend or your lover, and he gets kind of clingy, and at one point he wants to make you into a shadow, and then sort of resolves back into kind of a cute goth guy.
Yeah.
I like him, but I can't really put him
like
very
before
high.
he resolves into the kid.
You like him better when he's sort of like a monstrous...
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort of like a Dark Souls boss.
Like, I'd feel better about that. And it's like, oh, you look...
He's just a little kid.
You're a baby.
Even though he's not supposed to be a little kid. He's just a shy little goth guy.
Yeah.
He becomes
too young for
writing
me.
director type person
Which
for
is
theater.
cool.
Which is very fun. Do you think he's flings? Do you think he's friends?
Can't be friends. He's a baby.
He's a baby.
He can be friends.
You would put him pretty low, though.
Yeah.
Like maybe there.
Yeah.
Okay. Doug! This is the ProZD
Character.
someone character who speaks in an incredibly sardonic drawl. Took me a while to figure out how to get him because you have to like stare at a blank wall, and then eventually he shows up because he represents existential dread.
Yeah, we didn't want to give it enough time.
Yeah, and he's really mean because he's constantly trying to kind of like remind you of the futility of existence.
Yeah.
And he's always joking about how he has like, he says he has like appointments to like go to the elderly people's home and talk to them about, remind them of how all of their lives will come to naught and that the world will like, burn in a ball of flame eventually, that sort of thing. So there's not very much to recommend, Doug.
No, is he a yikes?
Yeah, I think he's a yikes. I think he probably goes like here. The thing about Doug is a comedy character. A lot of these characters are. I mean, all of them are intended to be funny to some degree or another. But Doug is just like a pure joke.
Yeah.
He's someone at his like most kind of unflappable and like downcast. But yeah, anybody who really would want to date somebody like this is out of their mind. Nightmare, on the other hand, I actually really like. Nightmare is your nightmares. We first encountered her with Betty.
Yeah. When we started with Betty, Jim was like, "Oh my gosh, I want to date them."
Yeah, her character design is so cool because she has like a unicorn face, and then she's like a chimera. She's got like a snake and a lion face, and then like a cloak of eyes, and her abdomen is like a bunch of uneven teeth.
Yeah, there's a lot of teeth.
She's very cool. When you realize her, she basically looks the same.
Yeah.
I really like Nightmare. There's sort of like a therapeutic quality to her nightmares, where they sort of explore your innermost fears. We sort of messed up somewhere along the line and only got a friendship ending with her. I think we were supposed to pretend to be more scared than we were, and that would have endeared her to us. I would put her in BFFs or Sweethearts.
Okay.
But... Oh, okay. I thought you'd fight me on that.
No, I don't. I mean, I'm okay with it. You really liked her. So.
I do like her. I just think her character design is very fun, and I like the idea of like exploring the darker side of your psyche, but in like kind of an ultimately healthy way.
Yeah.
Probably here.
Okay.
I mean, I would. Nah, I think that's about right because you like Prissy, so I want to keep Prissy pretty high. Reggie.
Hot mess.
Yes. Well, Reggie delights in
hot
the mess.
Messes.
Yeah, exactly. Reggie's whole thing is that they love hatred.
They like rejection.
Yeah, they only show up after you get a hate ending, and then they become your friend if you get 2 hate endings. Now, you can roll those back with the candies that Keith gives you, but
at least some of them.
Yeah, very flamboyant, loves rejection and scandal. And when you realize them, they realize that hatred in the real world is a lot uglier, and so they form kind of like a troll brigade.
Kind of like the Yes Men.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about this thing.
Oh, yeah. The Yes Men do kind of pranks, actors and pranks, kind of.
Against hate groups? Yeah. Yeah. They're like some merry pranksters. So that redeems Reggie quite a bit, but I don't think we can put him anywhere else than hot messes.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, better than Damon insofar as they have more personality than Damon.
Mm-hmm.
But Damon is sort of like the absence of personality. Like, I can't really blame Damon for acting the way Damon does. It's just, I don't think, a very effective quest line. Mikey Transaction and Lucinda Lavish are the DLC characters, who I didn't realize existed until I started to look into these tier lists and saw them popping up. Mikey Transaction is a microtransaction and is like a whole satire of gacha games. And then Lucinda Lavish sort of represents like deluxe editions and is very multifaceted. Mikey Transaction is also a dad.
Yeah.
Divorced from like a star?
Stella, yeah, a star.
Yeah, or something.
Which I don't get. But, so literal spouse material.
Yes. Oh, you think so? I mean, he literally is a spouse. Though your epilogue does not imply that you get married or anything. The one character that you see by the end of the game who does kind of come off as maybe being more permanent is Sam, actually. The friend that you've been texting the whole time and who you can get to confess feelings for you by the very end of the game.
Yeah.
Mikey Transaction is a sweetheart, though. Also notably, his character design is very different than everyone else's. Like, he looks much more like a cartoon with the beady little eyes. He kind of hates his job, but he does it so that he can support his family of 3. So you seem very endeared to Mikey Transaction.
I'd be okay with Sweethearts.
Would you put him in spouse material?
I would put him in low spouse material.
Man.
But I'm okay with Sweethearts.
But then he'd be pretty high Sweethearts, right? Maybe here?
Yeah.
Or here? Here. Okay. Alright. I mean, he's intended as just like a joke character, but the fact that he does have he's a great family man.
And that's attractive.
Yeah. Alright, finally we got Lucinda Lavish. Lucinda Lavish even acknowledges at one point that she's kind of got a lot of male gaze in her design.
Yeah.
She immediately comes on to you and solicits you, and she has like a little like luxurious red room she takes you to for all sorts of sexy stuff.
Yeah.
But if you persistently ask about her backstory, she'll reveal all of these different sides to her. Like there's Lucinda Listless and Lucinda Lush.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. And eventually she kind of develops some self-awareness. Mm-hmm. And the backstory, or the epilogue we got with her, is that she joined a monastery. Yeah. Though not one that takes vows of chastity, and apparently counsels people. So she's got a good arc. I hesitate to put her in BFFs or Sweethearts. Yeah. Because I think it's just that her character design is intended to be, like, maximally appealing and sexy. But
I feel like we didn't, like, I don't have much of a connection with her, even though, like, Game Us made a connection with her.
I like her, but I also think that's just my tastes.
Like, I feel bad about putting her in your flings because, like, what she wants is to not just be a fling, and yeah, that's kind of where I would put her.
Yeah. Okay, maybe here.
Okay.
I do like her though,
Mm-hmm.
especially when she reveals her inner depths. All right, so that's it. I guess the main thing now is to see if we need to jockey or position people any differently. Is there anyone that you think we really did dirty?
No.
Anybody who's spouse material that isn't properly in the spouse material bracket?
I think we're okay.
All right. Arvella co-signs this.
Is there anyone that you think we should rearrange?
I don't know. Gaia is super cute because she's got that Newfoundland accent,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just so like adventuresome and cheerful. Dolly is kind of a mixed bag. But I like what's in that bag so much. Do we move her down? Because you don't actually have strong feelings about Dolly at all.
I mean, I think she's...
You would put her in Sweethearts.
I'd probably put her in Sweethearts. But I'm okay with her in Spouse. I feel like she'd make good Spouse.
She'd be a spouse with an OnlyFans, which is wild to me. But there are people who do that.
Yeah.
Who can make it work.
I mean, putting some money.
Yeah.
She spends it on me. We're fine.
And they specifically say she doesn't do nudes. All right. We did it. We did it, gang. This was mostly a post-pregnancy project.
Yes.
So we play this while holding our kid and feeding our kid.
Yep.
And eating while trying to feed our kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had a lot of fun with it. If only it didn't crash like literally 24 times.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been awesome. And then we still have like a couple mysteries of people that we were not quite sure why we didn't get off on the right foot with. But we still feel like we had a very like full experience.
Yeah.
Like, we did try to do just about everything.
Yeah.
There were only 2 people that hated us by the end, and only 2 people, so we therefore couldn't realize them or see their epilogues. All right.
Okay.
Goodbye, all.